it's Erica Sterwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs, and today I have a fun little back to school teacher treat for you. I found something at the store that I thought was super cute. These are Little Debbie back to school brownies, and they're little school buses. Aren't they the cutest? So that's what I've designed this box for. The stamps that I'm using is the Picked for You. This is a 3-step stamp. I'm going to show you how you can easily line those up. And here's the sentiment for a special teacher. The other stamp I'm using is this cute little line, writing line from Better Together. Now this project was originally done during a Facebook Friday. If you'd like the details on this project, click on the link that's in the description and you'll find the PDF with my 3 back to school projects. Here's this one. It has all the supplies you need as well as the measurements. All right, well, let's get started. First, we're gonna make our box. So you need your Simply Scored and a 6 by 6.5 piece of pineapple punch. Now we're gonna score the long side, which is the 6.5 inch side. You gotta be careful because it's almost a square. But on the 6.5 inch side, we're gonna score at 3/4 and 5 3/4. And then turn to the short side and score at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 3 1/4, and 5 1/4. Now remember, all of those measurements are on that PDF, so make sure you click on the link and hop over there. All right, so let's burnish all these score lines. If you have your bone folder handy, use that. All right, we've burnished all of those. Now here is the skinny tab right here. That's going to be the lip that goes down into the box. So cut off that rectangle there, and then cut this one at an angle. All right, so do that on both sides. You're gonna cut off that rectangle and cut that piece at an angle. I didn't do a very good job. There we go. All right, now let's cut all of these up to the score line and fold them all in. And we're gonna put tear and tape just on these 4 corners right here, these 4 squares. All right, so get your tear and tape ready. Well, my tear and tape doesn't want to work for me this morning. Getting way too long pieces. That's all right, we'll snip them off. Actually, we'll just roll it back over. See, we'll just take that and fold it in. Extra adhesive. All right, fold that one in. Fold that one, and one more. All right, now remember, this is the lid over here with that skinny lip. So we're gonna take these corners and fold them in to the other side right there. All right, so fold these corners in, fold this guy back so you can see, and fold up the long rectangle tab. There we go. See how that's so cute? Perfect size box for our little brownies. Now to make it easier to fold these in, I'm actually gonna cut them in half, just so they're a little bit skinnier. And I'm gonna put our adorable little brownie bus in and fold it down into the box. I know those teachers need extra energy, extra sugar those first few days of school, so this would be perfect for a teacher. When I was a teacher, I kept a stash of sugar in my desk so that those days when I was really dragging, because it's very exhausting. All right, so take your cotton ribbon, real red cotton ribbon, and tie a bow. There we go. And snip those little edges, those legs off at an angle. Now, whoops, that one needs to be a little bit shorter. Now let's make our tag. All right, you're gonna wanna use your Stamparatus for this to get these apples lined up perfectly, okay? The Stamparatus is perfect for this. And we only need 1 plate. And our stamp set is photopolymer. So that means you want to leave this foam piece that came in your Stamparatus, you want to leave it there. And you want to get a piece of Whisper White that's whoops, that's the wrong one. That's a little bit larger than what you need. And I like to make it kind of big so that I can push it up against the edge here and here. And you can grab your magnet and hold it in place. Now the reason I make sure it's flush with each side is because these photopolymer stamps can be kind of sticky and sometimes they pull that paper out of place. But if that happens, you know that just put your paper flush back in here and it's perfect. But we have three stamps that we need to stamp, and you can see on them there are numbers. So 3, 2, and 1. So you want to start with 1 and lay it down on your paper and close the plate so that it'll pick up that stamp. And I'm going to use Real Red. All right, so let's ink that up, stamp it. Now it doesn't look quite right, but once we get those other layers on there, it's going to look just perfect. You can use your Simply Chamois to wipe off that stamp. Now we're going to get number 2, and we're going to lay it in. And I kind of look at these little pieces. It almost reminds me of the earth with these waters, you know, places that are water and places that are land. But you can see how that one fits perfectly. And then you want to make sure that these lines up here and at the bottom are lined up perfectly. Now if you're just stamping with a regular block, it makes it a little more difficult to do this because you really aren't quite sure where you're landing. But since I've lined it up perfectly before I inked it, I know that it's going exactly where it needs to go. This set, the apples have a watercolor look. They look like they've been watercolored. So it's not your sharp geometric shape. It's kind of more of a abstract. And the layers give different shades of red on the apple. All right, last step, number 3. And if you get any ink here on your plate, you want to wipe that off. All right, press down, and there is our watercolor apple. Perfect. I got everything lined up beautifully. Now let's put that stem in there, and that's going to make it really look like an apple. And I am using Early Espresso. There we go. So cute. All right, let me wipe this off before I close it and put it away. And we're gonna fussy cut this apple. I know some of you don't like to fussy cut, but when it's an abstract piece like this, it's actually a little bit easier because your cutting doesn't have to be perfect. Now I like to cut away as much excess paper as I can, get my smallest, sharpest scissors, and just start going around the outside. Leave a little bit of a white edge as you go, and leave kind of a white border around. That way the eye is only seeing the stamped edge. All right, there we go, our juicy apple. Now I've already cut out a 2 1/4 circle, Whisper White circle, and I'm going to stamp these cute little writing lines across here in Pool Party, kind of about 3/4 of the way down. And then I'm going to take a dimensional and put my apple right in there in the middle, sitting on that line. All right, now I decided this is a teacher treat, so I'm going to use the sentiment that says for a special teacher. But if you look, there are lots that you could do. You are terrific to the core. That's a perfect one to go with this apple. I couldn't have picked a better friend than you. Thanks for all you do. Many thanks, and you are the best. So you can see this isn't just a school set. It would go nicely for lots of occasions. All right, now I'm going to stamp that real close to the edge, and I don't have my trimmer here, but you guys use your trimmer so that you get a nice, perfectly straight cut, and we just want this to be as long and as wide, tall and wide as the sentiment. See how that is? It doesn't cover up too much of our apple. And we're going to take these glue dots, put them on here, put that across, and now we're going to actually punch a hole in this and tie it to that ribbon so that it's a tag. So this is the 1/8 inch handheld punch. I'm going to punch a hole kind of there behind the apple, and I'm going to take some Whisper White twine, just a small piece, thread that through that hole and under the ribbon. And I'm going to tie it there. Now when your teacher gets this, they can just slide this bow over and off, almost like a belly band on your project. All right, and there we have it. Such a fun and cute little back to school treat. Make sure you check them out. These Little Debbie snacks can be found at lots of stores. I found them at Target this year, but if you go to littledebbie.com, up in the right corner, there's a button called Snack Finder where you can enter your zip code and it'll tell you where specific snacks are, so you don't have to run around to a bunch of stores. These are great. I've never seen these before, and I think they make a really fun back-to-school treat. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have questions, and make sure to hop over to my blog to get that PDF. Thanks. Bye.